A very warm welcome to all our viewers this morning. As you might be aware, we are having three sessions like this every day on this YouTube channel and the same Zoom link. One in the morning at 8 a.m., one in the afternoon at 4:15, and one in the evening at 7:45 p.m. The goal of these sessions every day is just to briefly introduce you to what is Sahaja. Just a brief introduction, what it is, what we do here, how is it different, and then also we go for a meditation session towards the end. And if you have any questions, you want to talk to us, you can do that by joining the Zoom link or writing your questions or any comments in your comment box in YouTube. So we have these sessions every day. All of them are in Hindi, except two sessions, one on Saturday morning in Marathi and one on Sunday morning in English. So for the viewers who do not understand English, I would apologize and request you to attend other sessions. And they're all recorded, so you can also enjoy them later and learn from them. Apart from these sessions, we have one more daily session at 5:30 p.m. for seekers who have now understood the basics and want to go into deeper meditation. And that again, you can attend at 5:30 p.m. every day on the same YouTube channel link. These sessions are there just to introduce you to Sahajog, but the most important thing is that you meditate at home also regularly and bring Sahaj Yoga into your daily lives. To do that would be beneficial if you can learn more by joining our WhatsApp groups. Again, the link is given in the YouTube chat, or um, there are videos given in the YouTube channel about several things, how to do them. Also, it's very important in Sahaj Yoga to attend regular centers near you because Sahaj Yoga is a collective thing. And it's much, much better if you go for collective meditation sessions. That would be in centers nearby you. Sahaj Yoga is now spread all across the world and most major cities. And in India, at least all, I guess, all cities have Sahaj Yoga centers, and many of them. You can find out about the nearest one for you. There's a link given for that in the YouTube chat as well. And you can attend those centers. Sahaj Yoga is completely free of cost everywhere you go. You do not have to pay for it. There is no charge that can be taken or given for something so great that we're talking about. This was one of the first conditions that Shree Mataji, Nirmala Devi, who started Sahaj Yoga in 1970, put across. And that's why you won't see large publicity and tea time, too much of it, or anything like that being done in such a way. And even the centers that you visit will be very simple places. Most of them are in public places, so that we are not charged enough or charged a lot for that, and we are able to manage on our own. So very briefly now what we'll do is we'll go through some slides. And these slides are, you'll find that they are more geared towards youngsters because we wanted to talk to them also. Um, the young ones, they have a different language and understanding of the world than we have. And the the problems that they're facing are also a little bit different. If you look at their lifestyles and how they behave, you'll find that it's very difficult to reach out to them. Whereas the fact of the matter is that they really, really need meditation. They are in a really bad shape, and we'll talk about that more and more as we go forward. So these slides will go through, and they are in English, and we'll have this session in English. Um, Towards the end, of course, we'll have a meditation session, which is the most important thing. And at the end, again, if you want to talk to us or leave any questions, you can do that in the YouTube chat. We'll try to answer them. So let's start now. So the proposition that we are having here is that you de-stress yourself, you bring yourself into balance and get a total well-being through Sahaja Yoga. So when we say total well-being, it's a physical well-being, emotional well-being, mental well-being, spiritual well-being. All are, um, you can say, all part of our existence. Um, so the word in Sanskrit is samyak. So we get it complete well-being, a complete transformation has to happen. See, if we have to cure a tree's leaves or branches, we can't do it just on the branch part. The complete tree needs to be accessed, and that happens through its roots. And that is what we are talking about here in Sage Yoga. It's about reaching our roots and correcting ourselves from there. So, this is a statement that most people would easily agree. Um, the modern times are such that students and youngsters, people aspiring for good colleges or jobs, etc., they are living in a very, very aggressive environment and they are under immense pressure. They have so much competition all around everything they do. Sorry about that. So, easily agreed upon that the times are really harsh for them. The more we hear about people in young ages committing suicides and in IITs and in very good colleges and people still struggling, even after getting good jobs, they're under so much pressure. It's a mayhem, really. And I've recently come across some youngsters I've spoken with, and they are doing so much. I mean, even in commerce colleges, they would be doing, I don't know, dozens of internships, and they tell me there's so much competition around. It's just unimaginable, and it's a lot of stress for them. So the minds are full of worry all the time. It's a race, and I've become a part of it newly. Um, so you're thinking about getting into a good college, and a good career has to happen. What will my family think and friends think, and what will they say? Everybody around me, and I have to succeed and competition. What are my friends doing? Oh, he got that, he got that. She's in there. So it's too much to think about, and still you'll find that young people are working a lot. They are not enjoying lives, to be honest. They are struggling with studies, with maybe their jobs, with colleges. It's working very long hours. Even in schools, we have seen that after schools, you'll be going to coachings till night. And even Sundays, people spend for IIT coachings. I've seen them not coming to home for the whole days together. And it's not a very nice situation to be in. There are other aspects, of course, growing up, that is the teenage and the 20s early, that you keep thinking about how you look and how you appear, your personality, and what others think of you. How does the opposite sex think of you? And all of those things are also there. It's a complete hodgepodge. And it's just coming out of your days of being free and looking at this world with so much stress all around. And you being judged a lot at this time. All of this results to lack in self-confidence. Such people, you'll find that we say that youngsters are not attentive today. Such low attention span, they have lost the abilities to do proper communication, it seems. Because when you are all the time thinking, you're stressful, you can't be attentive. And such people are restless and impatient and irritable. Of course, they also lack in memory because of all of this become forgetful. They're not enjoying lives as such. Now, this is the topic that is being discussed so much now. Shree Mataji started Sahaja Yoga in 1917, and she presented the perfect correlations of what kind of lifestyle and what kind of The stress taking leads to what? Because our chakras inside are related to our physical being, emotional being, mental being. All that we do, all that we are, our complete being is being governed by them. So, what sort of lifestyle affects which chakras, and thus we get which diseases? She had given completely clearly all out. And at that time, there was no such thesis also out there. But today, more and more researchers and scientists and doctors are coming out with such correlations, and it's been established completely that most of these diseases that we see today, which are so common and so normal, people think that it's part of our lives, are coming because of our lifestyles. And these lifestyles can be because of how we work, like crazy people, morning till night, and how we live, how we eat, etc., etc. But the biggest part of it is stress, and the effect of stress on our physical self is completely established now. Of course, stress leads to anxiety, tension, loss of sleep. You'll find many people taking pills of loss of sleep. Growing up, I was quite surprised to find that, but I've found it to be so common now. And in Sahaja, we have seen people getting rid of this problem almost immediately. In a day's time, I've seen people giving up all those pills that they had to take. So in Sahaja, a lot of diseases get cured, but that is a byproduct of what happens inside. It is something quite miraculous, and you've seen uh, people who have been told by doctors that you cannot live anymore now, living healthy lives decades later as well. But it's not a given. It's something that happens on our own. Sahaj Yoga is like, um, it's like, daily we take our baths, and daily we brush our teeth. That's how daily we have to be in meditation. We have to practice it, bring it into our lives, and that's how we get the benefits. Otherwise, not. So it's really up to us. In Sahaja, you'll find that there's nobody giving us any certifications, nobody giving you any big names or anything. You're just yourself, and you figure yourself out. Although you are in collective, but you have to have your own meditation and figure yourself out and correct yourself. If we don't do that, um, we don't benefit from it. So, one of the other effects of stress, and again coming to young folks, and actually for all of us, um, with the stress of working hard that we have and competing in this mad world, we tend to find some escapes. And those escapes are mostly in things which are harmful to us, like smoking, drinking, and even drugs. This has become a serious issue for youngsters, and as people think about what they are leaving behind in terms of the world around, this is one of the biggest challenges and biggest worries that people have. That what will happen to the next generation with this, um, these kind of drugs coming in. But all of this is happening, and people are taking to these things because of the environment that has been created. And something needs to change in that environment itself. Because unless and until people get balanced themselves, they will always find some escapes. And it can be really, really detrimental and harmful to our society as a whole. One other aspect that has come in is depression. And young people today are talking of depression so much, quite openly. It's become quite commonplace. And um, people are accepting that even young people today are facing a lot of stress and they are under depression. All of this needs to be solved for sure. And that is why the focus today on the young folks. So we're saying that stop stressing and start living. Let's say I'm a very stressed person, you know, and just not happy with my life. And somebody comes and counsels me that, it's okay, you can leave it, just be happy with what you have. And this is part of life, and you'll always have people better than you, etc., etc. So don't worry too much about it. And I say, okay, let me try it out. Yeah, I hear you, etc., etc. But as soon as my friend calls me up and tells me that, I've achieved this, I've got this job, etc., when I can start stressing, there's so much competition around, or something like that happens to trigger it again. Because this world is all around us, we have not been able to escape it, and we should not escape it. But we have not been able to get over it as well, in the sense that we are part of this whole mind. So I cannot just stop thinking about things and not take stress. So it doesn't work that way. It can't be told to you, and you cannot just do it that I don't stress. So the question is how to remove stress. So to remove stress, people take to various things. One thing that people think helps them is, let's say, physical exercises. Physical exercises make us stop thinking for a while, or we are just focused on one thing. So it gives us that reprise. Of course, people take to exercise for physical well being, it's quite important as well. But you'll see that what happens is, and in Sahaj Yoga, you'll learn, we'll talk about an internal subtle system as well, that to work and to take stress and to think of the future, this is all being done today by people where they're stressed and they're working a lot. This is all done by one channel, the right side of our being. And we use that a lot when we are futuristic, we want to do more, achieve more, and we are also stressed doing all of that. Also, the physical exercises we do with the right channel, we use that a lot. And if we are very strict with the regime and routine and diet and exercise and very time to time people, very strict with ourselves, we are more and more working on that channel, becoming more and more strict with us and using that too much, that channel. Such people tend to get heart attacks as well. So it's a very scary situation, and we have seen so many successful people and CEOs and people with great routine and great physique, etc., getting into heart attacks. And that happens because we use this one side too much. You'll find that art is on the other side, on the left side, and that does bring some balance, and especially our classical music, etc. They are quite capable of relieving some of the stress. But again, it's a temporary out, one would say. It's not the permanent solution that one is looking for. Meditation is recognized as that permanent solution. That is why people move to meditation, and that is why it's necessary and important for us. Okay, I accept meditation is important, and this is how I'll um, get out of all of this madness all around me. But how to meditate, and what is meditation? This is a question that actually, if answered, many of our problems can be solved. So people who search for God today or go to various forms of meditation, and so many gurus have come and organizations have come in. Um, they all have different versions in their minds of what is meditation. For example, some people think that concentrating somewhere is meditate, or one point, or thinking about one thing, or some light, or something like that. That is meditation. So it's not. Meditation is beyond your mind. It's a state that comes to you and it takes you beyond your mind. That's how you stop thinking as well, where in meditation, and that's how you get the reprieve. Then some people think that taking some mantras and chanting them constantly is meditation. It is absolutely not so. You take mantras only after you're a realized soul and you know what mantras to take to cure which chakras inside. Otherwise, it's blindly going on saying anything without any connection being set up. Then people think that yogasana, hatha yoga, can lead to God. It is not so. Hatha yoga asanas were part of the Ashtanga yoga as described by Patanjali. He was, I think, one of the um, the primary forerunners of yoga who talked about yoga in quite detail, and he gave a complete description of chakras, nadis, etc., and all about yoga. And he said that there are 8 parts of yoga, and that was the time. That was a different time, one could say. He talked about yam, niyam, pranayam, pratyahar, and such 8 things were there in the Ishwar Pranidhan. Then one part of 1/8 of this was yoga, to put yourself physically all right. And we've taken up to that because that's the only thing probably people thought that it can be taught easily to masses. And we've taken up to that as being something spiritual. It is not so. Or some breathing exercise or something like that. These are all not meditation. You can do asanas, you can do breathing, all of this later on. If you know, after you've got your realization in meditation, you know which chakra is not all right, which is to be corrected, what has to be put all right. Then you take those pills. It's not like you just pick up the box of pills and put them all in your mouth without knowing anything. And that's how people actually harm themselves with these forms out there. Now, okay, all of this is not meditation. Then what is meditation? That is the question. So, meditation is something that happens to us. It's a state of silence inside us. It's a state that we achieve and we get into thoughtless awareness, where there are no thoughts, but we are completely aware. We can think if we want. We are not subdued with these thoughts all the time. So, what are these thoughts? Let's say, sitting down here, we might be thinking of, oh, I should have done this. I wish I had done that. I could have gone there. Oh, he said that to me. She said that to me. I should have answered that. It's always on like that. Or we could be thinking of the future. I'll go and do this. I'll go and do that. So these thoughts are always on. We are always going on this pendulum, thinking of the future or the past or something like that. We are never in the present. Now it's like we don't even realize it, but even when we are sleeping, we are thinking. So we keep jumping from one thought to the other, to the other, to the other. Non-stop we are thinking. And that's how we are never able to get the peace inside. When something happens inside us, and we'll talk about that later, but that self-realization happens. That is when Vilam comes in between these thoughts, which is really a pause. And that gives us this peace of mind. You'll realize that something is mentioned here, that meditation is the only way to grow. So it's like a tree has to grow up. It's a very small sapling right now. It has to become a large tree. But if there's always an earthquake in that area where the tree is to grow, it cannot grow. So that is why meditation is required, silence is required, and that is how we grow. But the question comes, why grow? Why do we need to grow? What growth and what exactly? So up until now, our evolution has happened on the outer aspects, mostly, also some on our mental aspects and emotional aspects. And you come up to this animal stage from a unicellular amoeba to fishes, reptiles, animals. I don't know, over millions and millions of years this has happened. And this happened all of on its own. For example, from monkeys to human beings, we did not have to go and cut our tails or anything. So it's an evolutionary process that is quite spontaneous, happens on its own. You don't have to do anything about it. Similarly, now our next leg of evolution has to happen, but it will happen in our awareness. We won't grow horns or anything now. But what I want to say is that it will not happen on the outer aspects, physical aspects. It will happen in our awareness. Why this growth in awareness is required? One can safely agree that the world we are living in has many problems. We have many problems. And if you look at the newspaper any day, you pick it up and you feel like, oh God, what is the world we are living in? That is because we have not achieved what God Almighty had planned for us till now. So there's one more step to be taken and achieved. And then we'll see how great and beautiful we really are. So that growth can happen only in silence, and that is why it is required. The first thing that you get in meditation is thoughtless awareness. Now, Sahaj Yoga, what is it? How it's different, etc. We'll briefly touch upon it. Sahaj means something simple, we know. But Sahaj means also spontaneous because we talked about it being a spontaneous process. All living processes are spontaneous. Sprouting of a seed is spontaneous, happens on its own. Our breathing, our digestion, birth of a child, most things in the world that are completely vital of flower becoming a fruit, it happens on its own and you just don't do anything about it. All these living things, these processes, they are all spontaneous. And that is how our next jump and our evolution is also going to be spontaneous. That is why the name Sahaj. Saha means with, Ja means born, something that is born with you. It's that natural and with you, and it's that innate part of you. Sahaj Yoga. Yoga means the union with the divine. That is what it is all about. That union has to be done, and it's a spontaneous process. It's nothing different to what has been talked about in our great country of spirituality. We have had so many stories about rishis, munis, saints, and peers, and so many seers and realized souls. And but there were one or two in their own times, and great poets who could foresee everything, and they've described so many things about the future where people will get it as a common thing. But those times were a little bit different, where people were doing a lot of penances and they were working for, uh, I don't know, decades and lives together to get their self realization. Because that was what we talked about, the Yam Yam Pranam, where they would put everything all right. Each chakra they would work for a lifetime, maybe, I don't know. And that's when one guru would select one shishya and give him or her realization. That is how it turned out in the past. It was very, very secretive, and kept to very few people because most people don't understand it, and probably the time was not right for it to get established. Today, Shrimataji says the blossom time has come and is something that must be given to the masses if we have to save humanity. And today's process of Sahaja is a little upside down in the way that the old process where they would work hard, as we talked about, was like if you have a lamp, you have to light it. So you put everything all right, all the screws and the mirror, and if anything's broken, you work towards it and work hard. And then finally, if the guru wills, one of you will get that lamp enlightened. And that's the ideal process, but we are not living in an ideal world. Today, you cannot expect people to go out in forests and hills and meditate. So what will happen to the humanity? So Shumataji says the method of Sahaj Yoga is like lighting that lamp first. Even if you get a very little light to start off, you can see for yourself what is not okay, and you can correct yourself then. And that is how, from one lamp to another, you can light it. That is how one realized soul can give realization to many. and they can all see for themselves and cure themselves. That is how you diagnose yourself, you cure your own problems. For the first time, you see what is wrong with you. Up until now, we don't see it. And this is not a mental seeing, this is on my central nervous system. It's as clear as me touching something cold or warm and knowing that it is cold or warm. That clearly you have to know it. And you can know it for others. It's a universal thing. So everybody will know the same thing about one person. Sitting down here, you can know about something sitting halfway across the world. You can give them realization, you can cure them also with what starts flowing through you. It's an amazing, unbelievable thing, but it's completely verifiable. You yourself will know and you yourself will judge. So, first you get it with an open mind, and then you practice it in your daily lives, and then you figure out that it is actually true. Briefly, we'll also touch upon our internal subtle system, and it's important we spend a few minutes here before we go into meditation because it will help us in meditation. So, when we were in our mother's womb, the energy that created us, you can call it by whatever name you may like, but that energy um, is the power of God that has done our complete creation. And it entered through the top of our head here. You will see that in very little children, newborn babies, this is a very soft spot. And it even pulsates at times in them because this is the entry point of this energy. When it enters, it refracts into three parts because our brain is like a prism. We know that when light enters through the prism, it refracts. Similarly, it does the same. The one coming from the right goes to the left, which is in the blue. It creates our Ida Nadi, which controls our sympathetic nervous system on the left hand side. The one coming from the left goes to the right, which is in the yellow, which we see as the Pingla Nadi, which is controlling our sympathetic nervous system on the right hand side. So these two nadis are our past and present, our emotions and our work, and all of this. These are the sun and moon inside us. They do the complete sympathetic nervous system control, and they are responsible for many things. Probably not right now is not the time to talk about them in detail, but these two are the balancing acts inside us. And the one in the center does comes down and it creates all of these chakras, which are these flower-like things that we see here. And these chakras are essentially on the gross, they are controlling our organs and our emotional beings and everything through these chakras and nadis is governed. But you'll see that these are also the places where in the gross we have these plexuses inside us, which control our hormones and everything. After all of this creation, the energy comes and settles down. At almost the end of our spine, there's a triangular bone, which is called as sacrum bone. So the Greeks named it sacrum. They probably knew that there is something sacred about this. And the energy comes and settles. When it settles, it forms coils. Coils in Sanskrit is known as kundal, which gives it the name Kundalini because she is the mother energy. She is there with us all our lives, and her only goal is to give us our second birth, which is self realization. In Sanskrit, the realized soul is called as Dvijaha, means the twice born. Also, a bird is called as Dvijaha, means first it comes as an egg in this world, then it breaks through and it sees the world for what it really is. And that is what happens when one gets their self realization. So, what happens in self realization? Self realization is nothing but awakening of this Kundalini again and piercing through the fontanel bone area to connect with the all pervading power of God. We say that God's power is all around us. Kan kan mein Bhagwan, we say. That means every molecule atom we have God. But we have never seen him, felt him, known him for sure. He's in our minds and our hearts, maybe, and we have, felt some miracles at times. But for sure, we have never felt that he is there all around. So that happens once. This piercing happens, and the power that is all around starts flowing through us, and we feel that power on our palms. Now, how do we feel that? It is described as cool vibrations. Shankaracharya, the Adi Shankaracharya, the first one, he wrote a book called Saundarya Lahari, means beautiful vibrations. He says that when Mother's grace dawns upon us, we feel Salilam Salilam Chaitan, means cool, cool vibrations. In Bible, it is said that when Holy Ghost will come, you'll feel the cool breeze. In Quran, it is said that when Qiyamah's time will come, your hands will speak and will give witness against you. Now, how can hands speak? So this truly happens, and these are some excerpts. There are many, many um, references to Sahaja Yoga and what we're talking about here. But this just gives you an idea of this cool breeze that we're talking about. So when this piercing happens, we start feeling this cool vibrations on our palms. And if some of our chakras are not okay, we'll feel the itching or burning sensation on those fingers. We'll see that numbering is done here for the particular chakras. And this decoding is, of course, given by Shree Mataji. You'll find that these chakras are not okay. And then when you ask the particular question that is this gentleman is catching on this chakra, so does he have a problem on that part of his body? And you'll see that yes, it is so. And that is how you know that this is an absolute knowledge that comes to you. When this starts flowing, this power starts flowing, you can correct those chakras with this power because this is the divine energy. And you can correct yourself, you can correct others, you can give realization to others. It is a fantastic and unbelievable thing. But we are, in fact, quite fantastically built, and we don't know ourselves. As Shrimataji gives examples, let's say we go to um, a very remote island where nobody has seen technology, and we show them our, mobile phones. We say that everything can be done here and seen through this, etc. They won't believe it. But as soon as you turn it on, you can see, they can see for sure. We are also to be turned, that switch has to be put on inside us, that connection has to be put, and that is when we'll start seeing what we truly are. So there's a lot to talk about in Sahaja Yoga, and it's truly an ocean of knowledge. It's an ocean. There's all this is freely available in Shrimataji's lectures, and there are thousands of them in Hindi, English, and Marathi languages. One can listen to them and learn more and more. Also, by going to centers, as we talked about, you can learn more about it. What we need to do, the first thing, the most important thing, is to get this experience of self realization, first of all. So, there are some steps to be done, which we'll see with our eyes open right now. And later on, we'll do them with our eyes closed. First of all, if you're sitting on the ground, you can sit cross legged and you can open your palms in your lap as is shown here. Also, will sit straight, not very straight, not slouched. If you're sitting on sofa or chair, you can sit with both legs apart. They need to be apart. And you can keep your palms open in your lap. If there's anything tight on your body right now, you can loosen it. Take off your spectacles, and because we'll keep our eyes closed. And if there's any ring or something like that, you can take it off for now. Now, we'll do some steps that are just about balancing our channels. And we are built out of 5 elements. We use them a lot in Sahaja Yoga to cleanse ourselves, to cure ourselves. We'll use a couple of them right now. We'll keep the left hand open in our lap and put the right hand on the Mother Earth as it is shown here. So we are seeing the steps right now. Later on, we'll do them with our eyes closed. In the next step, we'll keep the right hand open in our lap and left hand bent from the elbow like this. Right hand on the lap and left hand bent from the elbow like this. The next step will put both the hands on the Mother Earth. Now, the next steps have to be done only with the right hand. So we'll keep the left hand open in our lap and put the right hand on our heart. Left hand open in our lap and right hand on our heart. We'll do some prayers when we meditate. Then this hand has to come on our forehead across like this. We press from both the sides while bending our head forward a little. The next step will put the center of our palm with the fingers outstretched like this at the top of our head, and we'll press it. While pressing it, we'll move it in a clockwise direction. We'll press the center of our palm on our fontanel bone area and press it. And while pressing it, we'll move it in a clockwise direction so that our scalp also moves along with our hand. Then we'll see the vibrations coming out of our head also. So these are all the steps that we have. Now, one may ask a question that, is it enough to just move our hands a little and have some prayers to get to something so great that we're talking about here? So the answer to that is no, that is not enough. Our great king, Shivaji Maharaj, once asked his guru, who was a great realized soul, Ramdas Swami, how long does it take for one to get the realization? And the guru answered, King, the time it takes you to take one leg from one side of the horse to the other. He meant that shan, where that very second it happens, but you need someone who can give it and someone who can take it. Shree Mataji's photograph is really, really special. It emanates those vibrations that makes it happen. It emanates the chaitanya that makes it happen. This great happening inside us. And she's here to give it to us. For now, just keep our minds open and accept that, this is so. And look at her photograph with utmost and complete respect and humility. Because we are asking for something very great here that must be kept in our minds. Now, we'll sit, if sitting down cross-legged, if sitting on a sofa or chair with both your legs apart. We'll open both our palms in our lap and sit straight, not very straight, not slouching. And look at Shree Mataji's photograph with the only thought that I want my self-realization. Now we will slowly close our eyes, bring our attention inside. Just see what is happening right now. Now we'll do the steps that we had just seen. We'll keep the left hand open in our lap and put the right hand on the Mother Earth. Left hand open in our lap, the right hand on the Mother Earth. Here we'll pray, Mother, please clear out my left channel, take out all its impurities and imbalances through the Mother Earth. Mother, please take out all the impurities and negativities of my left channel through the Mother Earth. We'll also bring our attention to our palms and see what is happening right now. Mother, please take out all the impurities of my left channel through the Mother Earth. Now I'll bring the right hand back into her lap and put the left hand bent from the elbow towards the sky. Right hand back into her lap and left hand bent from the elbow towards the sky. Here we have to pray, Mother, please take out all the impurities and imbalances of my right channel through the ether element. Mother, please bring my right channel into balance. Take out all its negativities and impurities through the ether element. We'll see what is happening on our palms right now. Mother, please bring my right channel into complete balance. Now we shall place both our hands on the Mother Earth. Here we have to pray, Mother, please take out all the impurities still left in my left and right channel through the Mother Earth. Mother, please bring me into complete balance, into the center, into the present. Mother, whatever impurities and imbalances are still left in my left and right channel, please take them out through the Mother Earth. Now we'll bring both the hands back into our lap. And now we'll keep the left hand open as is in our lap and do the next steps with the right hand. We'll bring the right hand on our heart. Right hand on our heart, left hand open in our lap. Here we have to assert a great truth. Mother, I am the pure spirit. Mother, I am nothing else but the pure spirit. This is the truth. In reality, we are not this body, mind, thoughts, personality, whatever we think of ourselves, Mr. XX. This is not us. The only eternal thing is the spirit inside of us. So we say with full confidence, Mother, I am the pure spirit. Mother, I am nothing else but the pure spirit. Mother, I am the pure spirit. Now, as I am the pure spirit, I have done nothing wrong. We keep living with a lot of guilt for no reason. And this forms a sort of a pouch in our Vishuddhi chakra that does not allow us to feel the vibrations. It's very important that we forgive ourselves. And whatever guilt we may have, we leave it to God Almighty, who is the ocean of forgiveness. We let Him judge. Right now, it's very important that we forgive ourselves and do not feel guilty for anything. So we say that, Mother, I am not guilty at all. With full confidence, we have to say that, Mother, I am not guilty at all. Mother, I am not guilty at all. Now we bring this right hand to our forehead and place it across like we would in a headache. Keep the left hand as is open in our lap, right hand on our forehead, place it across and press from both sides. Now bend our heads forward a little. Here we have to say, Mother, I forgive everyone. Without remembering anybody's name, without thinking of anyone, you have to give a complete blanket forgiveness and say that, Mother, I forgive everyone. By not forgiving, we don't do anything, just play into the hands of people who have done us wrong. But when we forgive, God Almighty takes over. So to say that, Mother, I forgive everyone, myself included. Now also got to pray that, oh God, if I have done any mistakes against you, knowingly or unknowingly, please forgive me. Oh God, if I have made any mistakes against you, knowingly or unknowingly, please forgive me. We can rest our right hand by bringing it into our lap for a few seconds. Now we'll bring the right hand at the top of our head, the fontanelle bone area, which was a soft bone when we were kids, and press the center of our palm at the top of our head. While pressing, we'll move it in a clockwise direction. While pressing the center of the palm and the fontanelle bone area, we'll move it in a clockwise direction with our fingers outstretched so that our scalp also moves along with it. We'll also bend our head forward here. Now, here it's very important that we have to very humbly ask for it. Without us requesting and asking for it, Shree Mataji cannot give us our self realization. So we have to say that, Mother, please give me my self realization. Mother, please give me my self realization. Mother, please give me my Atma Sakshatkar. Mother, please give me my yoga, my union with the divine. Mother, please give me my Atma Sakshatkar. Mother, please give me my self realization. Mother, please give me my self realization. We'll stop moving the hand. Bring the hands back into our lap. Keep them open in our lap and keep our attention for a few seconds at the top of our head where we are pressed just now. Now, bring your attention to the center of our palms. See if there is a cool breeze coming out of the center, one hand or both the hands. Could be a very, very subtle feeling right now. So please look at it minutely. Also, it could be warm or hot for some of us. Do not think about it, just observe. Now bring your attention to the tips of your fingers. On the fingers, you'll feel some itching or burning or like a ant crawling kind of a sensation in one or the other finger, in one hand or both the hands. These are the chakras that are not okay right now. We'll just look at them and move forward. Now again, bring the right hand at the top of our hand where we had pressed and raise it just a few inches above. Right hand just a few inches above our fontanelle bone area. Move it back, forth, left, right to see if there's cool breeze coming out of our head and touching our palm. At some particular place, you'll feel it, so you can move it around and see. Now bring the right hand back into our lap and see the same thing from our left hand. Left hand just a few inches above our head, the fontanelle bone area. Move it back and forth and see if there's a cool breeze coming out of our head touching our palm. It could also be hot or warm in some cases. Now, as a very last step, put both of your hands completely up towards the sky, palms open towards the sky, and head pushed back. Here we have to ask one of these three questions three times. Mother, is this the Param Chaitanya? Is this the power of love of God that does everything? Is this the divine energy, the cosmic energy? Ask any one of these three questions three times. Now bring your hands back into your lap. In answer to those questions, the vibrations would have improved on your hands. Keep your attention at the top of your head. And again, for a few seconds, we'll sit in quiet meditation. We can slowly open our eyes now and look at Shree Mataji's photograph. We'll find that there are no thoughts right now, even with our eyes open. This is the first step and the first boon that we get, thoughtless awareness. We'll bring both our hands together in a namaskar and thank Sri Mataji and our Kundalini Mother inside for this blissful experience. For those of you who have just joined, I would request you to keep attending these sessions for a while. It sometimes takes a few sessions to really establish it and understand it. Please give this time. Please give yourself that time. Also, one has to meditate daily at home, the morning and in the evening. How to do that is something that you can learn by joining our WhatsApp channels and YouTube channels. There are links given. Also, you must attend a weekly meditation in centers nearby you. Again, everything is free of cost. You can find the links given in YouTube chat for the centers. You can find the nearest one and go attend those. Also, you can spread the word and bring more people that you think can benefit from this. Daily meditation is imperative. There's foot soak, etc., and badhans that you can do to protect yourself. Please learn all of that through the YouTube channel, etc., and establish yourself in Sahaja Yoga. As there are no questions today, we'll end the session here. Jai Shri Mataji.